was like drafted onto the 73-win Warriors, right? Yeah, he's got great teammates around him, and he hit the ground running. His first year as a starter, 50 touchdowns, led the league, 12 interceptions, 50-12, and if not for a pre-snap penalty, he gets to the Super Bowl where I believe they roll the Rams, the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history against the Patriots. He never got to touch the ball at the end of that AFC Championship game. Brady threw a pick to end the game. They should have won the Super Bowl that year. But you know what? They didn't. Them's the breaks. Comes right back the next year. Improves his touchdown to interception ratio 26-5 and wins Super Bowl MVP, coming back in 3 consecutive playoff games. Double digits in the Super Bowl, down 10 points in the fourth quarter, calls his own number, does like a 15-step drop and throws the ball 60 yards. He's just the best. Other guys might actually get the hardware, Stephen A., from time to time because people are going to feel sorry for them, but they're sympathy awards. Mahomes is where Jordan and LeBron were at their best. People are going to get tired of giving him the accolades, so they're going to spread it around. Do you realize this year, not only might he win MVP, but Super Bowl MVP again? 30 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and he's leading the league in yards. 30-2, brother. He's better than everyone else, and he's got a great coach and a great team. The MVP is his, if we're being honest.
You know, sometimes when you're having an enjoyable weekend, Molly, what's important is that, you know, you got to get up, you got to show up to work because you know what, you're not really that interested in showing up to work on a Monday morning because you've had such a wonderful weekend and you don't want to have to go to bed early because you want to enjoy the weekend through and through. But we get up because we know we got Sunday football, and as a result, you got to show up Monday morning. And so for me, you know, I'm totally fine with that. Except for when that dude sitting to your left, Molly, opens his damn mouth about LeBron James. Because I recall him talking about Kawhi Leonard being the best player in the world. I recall him ignoring the greatness of LeBron James. Now we want to include LeBron in the Jordan conversation and the Mahomes conversation and the greatness conversation. And we just gonna forget how he was talking about Kawhi Leonard until he had a oops moment, and then he wants to recognize what it is. I will say this. We all know, let's not engage in the regular ordinary. We know how great Patrick Mahomes is. And right now he's completing 68% of his pass, 30 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. We got all of that. But I got news for you, Max Kellerman. It ain't always about the best player. And that's where you and I part ways. But your position is consistent because you've always said the best player. And I said, no, there's plenty of times where we knew someone was better, but somebody else had a better season because of what they were asked to do. So this is not to sit up there and say that Patrick Mahomes is not the best because we recognize that he is. But when you talk about most valuable, when I see Tyreek Hill at wide open, when I see Travis Kelce taking brothers to school, when I see Watkins and McCole Hardman and these boys balling with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, I'm looking at a bevy of riches. When I look at the Tennessee Titans and I see what that brother Derrick Henry is doing, I ask a simple question. Would the Tennessee Titans even be in a conversation? Would they even be relevant in our eyes if it were not for that stud Derrick Henry, who beats up opponents and runs roughshod over them night, day in, day out, week in, week out? The brother already almost has about 1,300 yards rushing in 11 games. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. Everybody and their grandmother knows he is getting the ball. They know he is getting the ball often. They know that he's the number one threat. They understand it, and they still can't do anything about it. And it's him. So when I'm looking at it, it's not to sit up there and act like other dudes on Tennessee can't play because they can. And Mike Vrabel, I think, is a damn good coach. And I get all of that. But Derrick Henry is that dude. And I'm telling you right now, when we sit here and we have an MVP conversation right now, it needs to be Patrick Mahomes and Derrick Henry right here. Not here, not here. Right here. Derrick Henry is in that conversation because Tennessee is winning, and Derrick Henry is the reason for it. Make no mistake about it.
Derrick Henry is a great player. He is not in any conversation with Patrick Mahomes, and it's no offense to Derrick Henry. In fact, as I've quoted Casey Joyner, the football scientist on the show, Stephen A., I quote Warren Sharp, Casey Joyner, the guys who crunch the numbers. The In fact, the running back returns are very heavily dependent on run blocking. Yes, a great back will get more yards than a mediocre back if the run blocking is good. But I don't care how great you are. If the run blocking's no good, you ain't going to get anything. The main value for a running back like Derrick Henry is you save a roster spot because he's as good on his 300th carry as he is on his first, right? A bell cow guy. That's the main value. It's no knock against him. It's the nature of the position. Patrick Mahomes got one loss on the season. He's the reigning Super Bowl MVP. After he was the reigning MVP, he might get both this year. One loss on the season. He's 30-2 in touchdowns. 30-2? I didn't even know that was possible. That means he's going to wind up with more than 40 touchdowns and maybe fewer than 5 interceptions for a team that everyone knows is not just the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. They're the flat-out favorites because they have Patrick Mahomes. You want to compare a running back to him?
I'm not comparing a running back to him. Unclog your ears. We know that Patrick Mahomes is the best. That's what I said. What I also said is that it's about the season that you're having right now. In terms of most valuable, it's not about who's best. It's literally about who's most valuable. I am making the contention. Give me a good quarterback. Give me a good quarterback. And a good quarterback can do a lot of things with all of those weapons Kansas City has, not taking anything away from Patrick Mahomes. When I look at Derrick Henry, I see no one at his position that can carry a team the way that he is carrying a team. He's not better than Patrick Mahomes, but the season he's having, pay attention to it.
Okay.
Because he's coming.
All right. We're leaving it there. Max, we'll get you some Q-tips to unclog those ears. Oh, when we come back on First Take, so much more to get into, including the Patriots. They pulled off the win. At this point, though, is Cam just a guy, to use Max's term? Very disrespectful. Let the